This is the EricErbShow.com. You can find me online at the EricErbShow.com. Of course, Twitter.com/the Eric Erb Show. And, of course, on YouTube as well, youtube.com/the Eric Erb Show. And I'm on Spreaker.com/the Eric Erb Show Live. And SoundCloud, soundcloud.com/the Eric Erb Show. So, all right, let's get into the news here. I got some news care of newstarget.com. That's newstarget.com, where I'm pulling this article. The headlines on the article read, Twitter welcomes left-wing terrorist, but conservatives not allowed. And the date is June 4th, 2020. That's the date of the article, so today's date. It says that Black Lives Matter, but what they do is a whole lot different story. As you may have seen, many of the so-called protesters that are rioting, looting across America are using Twitter to coordinate serious acts of terrorism against innocent people. And rather than help stop the violence from happening, Twitter is actually sanctioning the violence. At the same time, Twitter changed its official account description to hashtag Black Lives Matter. The platform has been allowing black-owned businesses to be destroyed by violent thugs who are using Twitter to gather and dispatch their army of comrades. Twitter search words, Santana Row, for instance. Santana Row is being a shopping district in San Jose, California, pulls up dozens of tweets from Twitter users encouraging their followers to vandalize and destroy the district. Let's riot, raid Santana Row, LOLO, reads one such tweet, which was shared more than 100 times. Next, looting stop, Santana Row in San Jose, reads another. Santana Row hasn't even issued a statement regarding anything going on, and when they are very active on social media, reads yet another. They deserve to get looted. So it's obvious that these thugs, these people, these criminals, these bastards that are looting, rioting, stealing, and harming Americans, some instances, innocent lives have been lost and killed, police officers, innocent civilians. When is this going to end? And the answer is, people might find this very interesting, but this is a show being put on for the American people to see that they believe Black Lives Matter when in reality it does not matter. Let me explain. George Soros, who is funding most of Black Lives Matter and Antifa, different terrorist organizations, domestic terrorists, I guess if you want to call them that, even that, I just consider them terrorist organizations. He pays them money to start shenanigans, start rioting, start destruction all over. This is bought and paid for by George Soros and collectively organized by the Soros and Soros funders to keep the demonstrations alive. The answer is it will not stop. It will continue right up on and off through the election and even after the election of President Trump. Why? It's very easy to answer the question why. They want President Trump out of the office so bad they're willing to basically destroy pretty much the world, whatever it takes to do that. Now, a lot of people think that I'm crazy and full of shit and everything else. That's fine. I can handle that. The bottom line is that Trump and Trump's Justice Department are digging into Obama with Obamagate and Hillary Clinton and dead skeletons are starting to rise to the surface, or in other words, lots of secret stuff that the Clinton organization, Clinton Foundation, Obama, everybody thought that they had hid and buried. And people, by nature, and these are people that worked for the Clintons and worked for the Obamas, when they are squeezed by law enforcement and threatened, we will put you in prison, we will do this, we will do that, you'll never see your family, on and on and on, they panic and they'll start to squeal. Just like any other person, you put enough pressure on a person when you're interrogating a person, and a person will talk, a person will squeal, a person will start to divulge some information. And over time, and the more you do it, and the longer the process takes, the more likelihood that a person is going to squeal and give you the information that you're seeking and you desire. In this case, Soros is funding Antifa. Soros is funding BLM, Black Lives Matter. This is not, in other words, this was staged all along. I've seen video after video, bricks in certain locations of cities that they were going to loot, destroy, and burn down are already there. Vacant cars so they can destroy are already parked in certain locations. I've seen that this is a setup. I just want to tell you folks, I do not condone the murder of George. I don't condone the murder of him. I don't condone that at all. Murdering poor George there's nothing that I condone as far as murder. Never, ever, ever. But what I don't also condone is people rioting, looting, stealing, acting like a bunch of assholes. And that's exactly what they're doing. If you want to protest peacefully, a peaceful demonstration, you have that constitutional right. I totally support that, 110%. But to destroy other people's property, to destroy your brothers, your black brothers, to destroy your black brothers and sisters' businesses, and that's not Black Lives Matter. That's thuggery. That's just plain crime. And you'll pay the price. You'll absolutely positively pay the price. And I feel very sorry and very sad for those business owners that's lost their businesses due to this bullshit. I'm very sorry, and it's very, 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 very sad to something like this, to George Floyd, for him to be murdered, and it's very sad for the business owners. Let me just say on this point, before I close, that people in this country, at least in the United States of America, people are in the wrong place at the wrong time. People get murdered all the time. That's the very sad statistic of life here. People have been getting killed for a long time, since the dawn of man, since the age of time. Black men have been getting shot and killed for years and years and years. And if you go back throughout history, I'm not condoning any of this. Before people start up on me, I'm not condoning any of this. I totally am against all of this. But black people, African Americans, have been getting shot and killed for a long time in this country and around the world. Same with whites, same with Asians, same with Hispanics. It's all there. About a week or so ago, or a week and a half ago, where was Black Lives Matter when 12 black males got shot and killed over the weekend in Chicago? They were nowhere to be found. In other words, this is, folks, you have to have a brain to be able to pick this apart. And I know there are some people, it's like, Eric, we don't want to screw with this. We don't want to fuck with this. Just tell us the news and shut the fuck up. Yeah, I got that. I totally get that. You have to have a little bit of just use your brain, just even 5% here, just to think about this and look at that. You can have 12 people in Chicago, the violent city of Chicago, Illinois, get killed all in one weekend. Nobody says shit. All of a sudden, George Floyd comes along. All of a sudden, here in Minnesota was due for a psyop. All of a sudden, in downtown Minnesota, he gets in a confrontation with a couple cops. One decides to handcuff him, pull him down aside. All of a sudden, we see on the news and we see on the video, the cop has his knee on the back of Mr. Floyd's neck, and all of a sudden, he's dead. Riots break out all over the fucking place. Now, why is it Mr. Floyd is and this is no disrespect whatsoever, but Mr. Floyd happens to be a black African-American gentleman. Why is it a week or two before in Chicago, a dozen male African-American gentlemen are shot and killed? No riots there. This one they decide to riot. This one they decide to loot. This one they decide to go fucking crazy all over the United States. Why did they pick that particular person to start all of this bullshit, start rioting and looting and stealing? Why? You have to just ask yourself, what's so special? People get killed all the time. And I hate to say, I'm not trying to sound like a cliche, it's horrible, but people get killed all the fucking time. And then it's just with Mr. Floyd, it's different. Well, the whole nation's going to start rioting right now. Black Lives Matter, this and that, and you're hollering this and that because, again, it's a setup operation. They call that a PSYOP operation, a setup operation coordinated and funded through George Soros and funded through Black Lives Matter and funded through Antifa. This is how this was set up. Okay? This is and again, people are going to jump all over me. Oh, you don't understand race. Yes, I do. I was born in Michigan when I'm over 50 years old now, and the time I was growing up in Michigan, you were either black or you were either white. I never had any issues whatsoever growing up among the black community. Never, ever, ever. They wouldn't give me any shit. I didn't give them any shit. We got along. Most of my best friends up north in Michigan are African American. They're black. Okay? So I don't want to hear that bullshit and racism coming out of everybody's mouth and all this and all that. Big bunches of bullshit. The bottom line was this was set up. It was set up and funded by George Soros, coordinated by Black Lives Matter and Antifa in order to start riots because they see that the COVID-19, the plandemic, as I like to call it, and a lot of people are calling it that, the plandemic did not work, and they did not remove President Donald J. Trump. That's what the end game is. I guarantee you, as soon as if they could, with their fakery, with their lying, with their scams, just their plain criminal activity, and a lot of this goes back to the Democratic Party. As soon as they would put a Democrat in there, all this bullshit would magically poof go away. You don't believe me? Watch. If by a chance of criminal misconduct and forgery and everything else, if Joe Biden would win, watch all this shit go away. Oh, we got a Democrat in here. Let's go back to our old routine of lying, cheating, stealing, fakery, all this other crazy bullshit they're doing, stealing. I mean, they're stealing from the people. They're stealing from you people. I mean, you guys don't realize that? These thugs go and they break stuff. They steal. They're stealing everything. It's costing you money, and that's okay. And these Democratic fucking governors up there in New York and Bill de Blasio, the mayor in New York City, oh, yeah, we're not going to call out the National Guard. Fuck that. Just go ahead and take whatever you want. Are you out of your fucking mind? And the answer is yes, they are out of their fucking mind. They hate President Trump so bad. This was the tip of the iceberg. poor Mr. Floyd was sacrificed so that they could pull this operation off and they could start the rioting, looting, cheating, stealing, doing everything they possibly could in order to remove President Trump. Why? Because President Trump and his Justice Department, Bill Barr, are digging and digging slowly but surely and turning up all kinds of shit on the Clintons and all kinds of shit on Obama. And you don't think Obama, former President Obama and Hillary Clinton are shitting their pants right now? Of course they are, because they know it's just a matter of time. And time right now is closing in on them before they turn up something, and they're going to get in lots and lots of trouble, and they're going to get in some deep shit. Will they go to jail or prison? No, I probably doubt it, because they're too powerful, and their position's a former position. But would something happen to a lot of people around them that would tarnish their reputation for life? Absolutely, absolutely. There's so much crime. It would take me hours and hours and hours to describe here on this podcast that the Clintons and Obama's done over the years, over the last 7, 8, 9 years, whatever it's been, and continues to do so. It was described to me, it's like the Clintons and Obama, they're like a fucking mafia. And just think of them like a mafia organization, and then you'll be able to understand more about what the Clintons are and what they're like and what is exactly going on there. And I mean, it's heinous to the fifth degree. I mean, most people, if I even start to roll out and tell them everything that I've known over the years and have found out, and people's eyeballs would just pop right out of their head, because they're just so the Satanists, I even call them Satanists, the Satanistic people in them organizations that's worked for Obama and Clinton they're out of this world. So unfortunately, back to Mr. Floyd. Unfortunately, it looks like Mr. Floyd was sacrificed for this PSYOP operation. It's very, very sad. They have to go out and they have to kill somebody, and they're so desperate. They want to get rid of a sitting president and take him out somehow, some way. They think through rioting. And my condolences again to Mr. Floyd's family. I mean that very sincerely. And the people that are rioting and looting have no business whatsoever. And I hope that very soon, all of you, or at least most of you, people coordinating these groups, Antifa and Black Lives Matter, I hope you're caught. I hope you're arrested. And I hope you're in prison for a long fucking time. Okay, this is Eric Erb from The Eric Erb Show. You can find me online at theericerbshow.com. Of course, twitter.com/The Eric Erb Show, Spreaker.com/The Eric Erb Show Live, and of course on YouTube. I have a YouTube channel, youtube.com/The Eric Erb Show Live, and Anchor, that's anchor.fm, anchor.fm/The Eric Erb Show Live. This is Eric Erb from The Eric Erb Show. You stay well, you be safe. God bless all of you, and God bless America. We will get through this, all of us together. Have a good day. I'm out of here.